Yeah, my name's Simon Chandler and I'm the Duke of Edinburgh Award Coordinator at POWIS, Ballypalao. Well, the Duke of Edinburgh's award programme is an internationally recognised award. It is something that encourages its participants to develop transferable skills like problem solving, leadership, communication. But it's also there to allow them to develop a sense of adventure, a sense of community, and it's something that POWIS decided to do to give the curriculum more depth, or to allow students to work outside of the curriculum and to build skills that aren't necessarily the first things that you think of when you walk into a physics lesson or a Spanish lesson. So that's really the reason why. There's an added level of challenge and a direction that you can use outside of the classroom that allows us to develop participants into young people that have more to them than just their grades. Life is an adventure. It's one of those things that you can prepare for to an extent, but a lot of life is unpredictable. And what we tend to do with the Duke of Edinburgh's Awards, through both the components that allow students to develop skills, their physical fitness, is also to look at how they respond and how they react to the unpredicted when they're outside the classroom. My involvement in Duke of Edinburgh began just after the pandemic in 2020. So I'm coming up to 6 years now, and I worked in Spain in a school for a long time until I moved to Malaysia, where I started the award off from nothing, and we built up a very successful bronze, silver and gold award. This summer, 6 of the students that began the bronze award with me graduated with their gold award. So I was very proud of that, and I want to create the same success at POWIS. At the moment, in the Bronze Award, we have myself and 2 other teachers. The Silver team is made up of 3 long-term teachers in the Maths department here who have been really successful at fine-tuning the Silver Award for many years now. And hopefully next year, we're going to plan and get together the Gold Award team and a number of students who I know are already interested in planning a Gold Award that could lead us to Sarawak, could lead us to the Himalayas, it could lead us to any part of the world that we see as a challenge and something really rewarding that we want to get out of that much bigger and much more significant qualification. Yeah, there are elements of outdoor education about it. It's more than that. It comes down to a competence, so teaching a capacity to live outdoors and to be a successful expedition contributor. But it's also more to do with the skill development, the voluntary, the physical, and that's something that is a theme that I think if you talk to any of our successful participants, they'll say that that aspect that happens when they're on their own is something that is also quite significant. At POWIS, we have a dedicated team of award leaders. We have a lot of experience at leading the award here, and this year we're also able to celebrate some real success. We have a 93% completion rate with our Bronze Award, which means that almost everybody that starts the award and is supported by staff here at the end of the time that that award finishes walks away with that certificate and the ability to move on to the next award. So at bronze level, we had all but 1 person completing the award within a year, and everyone else has gone on to the silver level that they're just about to start. At the end of silver, when we have sufficient people finishing, they'll go on to do the Gold Award, which we plan to start planning this year coming up. I think growth is a really important word to focus on. Students coming in at the program really aren't too sure what they're going to look like at the end. And I find that I've had a real privilege to be able to be in charge of this award in more than one country, because I've seen how the program affects, in an incredibly positive way, the growth of students. Confidence, their ability to communicate, their ability to develop trust within each other, a group, and also between adults is incredibly important, and that's not always something that is obvious when they walk through the school doors, but it's something that definitely comes out when we take them outside of school in the 2 expeditions that we do, the 2 adventurous journeys, where they are planning how to survive outside, how to transport themselves and all of their equipment, how to create their shelters in their tents, how to cook, how to navigate routes that they've plotted and planned. All of those areas of the adventurous journeys are really significant in the way that they're able to help students develop as independent young team members, but also problem solvers and leaders. So there are 2 expeditions, but really and truly most of the work is put in by each of the individuals throughout the year, or if the award lasts longer than that, for that time period. They have to dedicate time each week for a significant period. At bronze level, that's 13 weeks. At silver level, that's 26 weeks. And at gold, it's a whole year, to completing one of 3 sections that they are in charge of themselves. That's developing a skill, increasing their abilities in physical fitness, or volunteering their time for a good cause outside of school. So they have to commit to 3 hours a week. That often fits in with their life anyway. So if it's a piano practice or it's learning a new language, then that tends to fit. But with physical activity like sports, then it might be something that they take up something new and they discover something new that they wanted to do. Interestingly, for me, over the years, I've seen the most connection with the voluntary section, and quite often students will begin a voluntary activity, tutoring or helping at an animal sanctuary, looking after older family friends, and they just continue to do that. After the award finishes, it's something that's been part of their lives that they really enjoy. So that's always been nice to see that happen.
So they can choose?
Well, they have to. It's up to them. Part of the independence is that they choose what they do, and they have ownership over that right the way through the award. Well, like every person, I think facing challenges is an area where we all learn. Whether those are physical challenges to do with discomfort, which is something that we don't normally see in our lives. Certainly being outside in the tropical environment makes you think a little bit about the way that you are able to do more than you normally think. Many of our participants have lives that don't necessarily push them to their envelope of their physical capacity, whereas I think it's fair to say that the expeditions that we run have certainly done that to many of the students, whether that's hiking through the jungle or kayaking on some of the largest lakes in Malaysia. For a prolonged amount of time, the physical element of those activities is really important to emphasize. The problem-solving elements are continuous. The communication with their team is a continual thing. Everyone has a chance to take the lead, whether that's in cooking, making camp, navigating, helping a friend up a hill by taking some weight off their bags. They're really immersed, I think, in many skills that you wouldn't necessarily meet day to day as a student going to school normally.
So they overcome
they learn to manage themselves in a much wider comfort zone than they would normally do, for sure. And it's all about opening up your expectations and saying, yes, I can do something that I never thought I could do before. Well, I think, as I said, it's really about them taking charge and being able to see when to step in if they have a particular skill that they think they can contribute to the team. Certainly the Adventurous Journey does that, and preparing for the Adventurous Journey does that. Every week we have sessions that mean navigation is developed, route finding, kayaking, hiking, and any other of the activities that we do relies on a good understanding of maps, compasses, and the ability for us to move through or over a particular type of terrain at certain speeds. General, more transferable skills, I think it's evident from looking at the type of qualification that you get at the end of it, that virtually all of it demands you to be a different person than the one in a classroom. It's all about developing skills that allow you to survive and thrive outside. Well, moving on from high school into the competitive environment of higher education or employment is and can be a very scary thing. The first stage is to realize what separates you from the rest of the hundreds of people applying to the same place at university. Academic qualifications and success can get you so far, but there's some point at which admissions tutors will want to know who you are beyond your academic success. And without a shadow of doubt, the ability to talk about your life experiences, the ones that you've developed and come across through your involvement with Duke of Edinburgh's award, means that you separate yourself from thousands of other people who are on the same path as you. You can talk confidently, and I know this from experience through my involvement with the award. You can talk confidently to someone face to face about your experiences on expeditions or your interest in your particular skill development or physical fitness focus, your involvement with communities through the voluntary program. It's all there for you to talk about, and a lot of other students at that particular level wouldn't necessarily have that depth to themselves to allow them to engage in an adult conversation saying, this is who I am. Yeah, I'm not like the rest. I've got lots more about me than those other people that you might be looking at. I'm the one that you want. I never had the opportunity, which I think is the thing that makes me so passionate about it, because I was not given that opportunity when I was a kid. It's really something that I feel drives me to provide the best type of support that I can for the students here.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.